And it's all right. Good morning, everyone. It's April 16, 2024, 9:30 in the morning. Market just opened and SPY is just flat today. It's up by 0.36 cents, which is literally nothing for SPY. SPY had a huge dump yesterday. It moved from 514 all the way to 503. So that is a huge dump from SPY yesterday. So right now, I don't have any open positions yet. Let's see what SPY is going to be doing, and let's see what that first 10 to 15 minutes is going to do before even opening a position. So just making sure everything is connected here. All right, so SPY still at the same price. Let's finish up with our pre-market levels. Pre-market low is at 503 with a pre-market high of 506. So that is a $3 move or ATR, or that average true range of the SPY. We just lower this one down a little. Okay, so that is our SPY. Let's look at what else is moving. Tesla had been having a nice dump as well for the past couple of days. Yesterday was a nice move from 169 to 161 and a gap down today. So we're definitely going to be watching all the EV sectors. So what I've been watching as well, aside from Tesla, is Rivian. So another EV company that had been having that pullback. Look at this big pullback by Rivian. So for long term, Rivian is not doing too good. I did have to close my position for a swing with Rivian. I did not like that the volume was picking up. So yeah, for the swing position, I just closed my position in Rivian since it's not yet due for a push higher. So with AMD is up by 3.20. So AMD also had a nice pullback yesterday, and now this is doing an inside bar. So levels that I'll be interested in AMD is this level, because that is yesterday's high, and let's see if it retests that level 164.41. I'll be interested in either doing a long or a short at that level, depending on what the volume bar as well as the tape in the level 2 is going to show us. So SPY still flat. We are supposed to have a news at 1:30 today, so I won't be surprised if we just consolidate at this level while waiting for that Powell news at 1:30 this afternoon. So let's look at what else is moving. So we have NVIDIA. NVIDIA is a high price stock. So what I've been doing with NVIDIA is just using it as either a laggard stock for AMD. So if NVIDIA is pushing higher, since it's the same sector as AMD, then I will trade AMD. So I am just, looking at this one in hope of having AMD as a sympathy play. Next one is Apple is almost just flat, but we can always take a look at that. So Apple is just down by 70 cents. So that's really is not a lot from Apple. So looking at my levels in the 15 minutes, 172, 171, not a lot. It is a gap down, but we have encountered that moving average in Apple. So next one is, what is our Bitcoin company? Let's see if they're active today. So Mara, Bitcoin or crypto stuff, 2.5 million actively being traded. This is also a gap down by 3.1%. Pre-market low is at 14.6 with a pre-market high of 15.11. Less than $1 move pre-market. So we'll take a look at that. BAC is up as well. And BAC, let's see, it was up at one point at 37. Now it retested the level 35.08. So it's actually down by 50%. But let's put in our level 35.21 all the way to 37. So it had moved at least $2 there. So ATR is good. And MS. So MS is a float of 1.2 billion, not a low float stock. We can trade it to the upside as well as short this one. It's shortable according to my broker, Interactive Broker. So we are able to borrow some shares there if we find a good short trade here. Looking at the daily doesn't excite me because of it. We're actually just under consolidation. So that is MS. Next one, just looking at the watch list, is gold, which is down as well by, let's see, gold is down by 4.9%. I don't like the level 2 as well as the tape. Initially it was stalling, but this is a gap down by 5.1%. Looking at the daily looks good. This is actually a potential. It had moved already by almost $1 here. I like how the daily looks like. This is not a low float stock, 1.7 billion, and actively being traded at 3.7 million. Yesterday, there were like 32 million that traded this one and 50 million the day before. So considering from 2 days ago, this volume right now is still tiny compared from 2 days ago. So let's look at that as well. UNH. So UNH is very active as well, 6.2% up. This is not a low float stock. It is 920 million. Right now, 1.9 million actively being traded. Daily looks good. How's the spread? The price is not good. This is a pricey stock, 472 shares. Almost at the range of SPY. So we'll be just watching that one. That is an expensive stock to play. Sweet spot is between, let's say, like 20 to around 100. So that will be the good price of a stock to be playing. So AMD. And of course, we're watching Mara, so we are going to be watching Coin as well. So Coin, another crypto stuff, is also having a pullback. Pre-market low is at 216 with a pre-market high. A little bit of an outlier there is 226. That is a $10 moved. With Coin usually has a big spread, so be careful with this one. Spread right now is around 50 cents. So that's the only thing that I don't like about that. Rivian as well as Tesla is still having a pullback. What I don't like about Rivian, there's really not a lot of a volume here. 8.3. 8.3 started to become a support here. That's because that is the pre-market low. So, but it doesn't look like this one is ready for a bounce up yet. So let's see. What else is here? SPY. Yeah, SPY. Again, since we're waiting for that news at 1:30, I think what SPY will do is just consolidate at this level. Okay, so since we got all our levels in, let's just pick whichever is moving right now. So going back at AMD, the daily is just an inside bar. So there's no levels to trade off of for now. NVIDIA, high price stock. We're just waiting for that one to do the move so we can trade AMD. BAC, daily doesn't look as good just because it had open inside bar, now tested that support. Let's see what that support is So going back, that doesn't look like a really is a strong support, considering that let's see, this one had touched that level. So 35.08. Yeah, it could be. Yeah, the only thing that I don't like about inside bar is it can either go in both directions. So since it opened at this level, it just can test this 36.75 or broke this 35, which it did already. So we'll stay away from that for now. Okay, Apple is a gap down. Now it's filling the gap. What's interesting about Apple is if SPY moves, then we'll see what it'll do with an Apple stock. So what happened here in Apple is yesterday the low of that body is at that 172. Interesting enough, that is this high of this wick is very close to that level from yesterday's closing body. So that is 172.74, which is, let's see. All right, so looking at a lower time frame here, just so we get to make sure that our lines are aligned to yesterday's price. And look at that one. So it filled the gap. Yesterday, that was the low of this candlestick. It touched that 172.65, which is right now, it's retesting again. What I can see here is 171 acted as a strong support and now bouncing above that 171.35. Will it continue to bounce above it? Right now, it's saying in the level 2 that it will go to 172.77, 78, which is now is what it's currently doing. So let's see if this one still has the momentum to retest the pre-market high, and we'll go from there. So that is Apple. BAC already broke that support, that 35, the one that we were just watching earlier. So that's getting interesting. MS, look at the level 2 and the tape here. Not much of movements compared to the one that we're watching. What I don't like about MS is look at this big wick right here. You are gonna be, this trade right here is a hard stock to trade just because of that wick. Because if you are on the wrong side of the wick, then yeah, that can really affect your capital. So I stay away from those big wick right there because that is giving me a higher risk to do. So if, let's say, if you enter at 87, where are you going to put your stop loss? You cannot put your stop loss all the way down here because that would be a $3 move or $3 risk. That's why I prefer a smaller wick. That's why I like Doji. I like Hammer with a smaller wick. All right, so although MS in the 5 minutes is getting interesting, so let's look at the lower time frame because of this. If you put in, let's say, above this level 88, so entry could be 80, 89, because literally that's the high of this candlestick, and 88 is your stop loss. You're risking $1, but your VWAP is there, so close that VWAP can be a rejection as well. So I'll pass on that. UNH up by 6.3%. Daily looks nice. A huge gap up here. It can also just fill the gap. The move that happened here was at the pre-market. I would like to trade this one if this is a cheaper stock. It's 481, so nothing, no trades to take there. SMSI also is a high price stock, just like watching it, but not gonna trade that. All right, Rivian. Tesla. Next is gonna be Rivian. Tesla was, yeah, it's just so weak with that huge dump yesterday. Look at this volume right here, 12.6 million. And let's look at, it's clear, the anomaly is clearer if you go to a lower time frame. So Tesla here, 2.2 million, and we are at the VWAP, currently still at the VWAP. Yesterday, it did not even retests the VWAP only that one time, and it continues to dump down. Let's look at a strong support on Tesla. So Tesla here, I don't think this is an all-time low because it is still, yeah, still a long way to go here. So where is the support here? We're going now on weekly. There is a wick right there, 152. I won't be surprised if that 152 gets retested. Incoming here, 155 for Tesla. That was a big order that was just right there at the bid, which is very bearish. So yeah, 155 right there got tested. All right, so no trades to take there in Tesla yet. SE have almost 1 million shares, not a lot of volume, and we can just put in our levels. Pre-market low 51 with a pre-market high of 52.38. It already had that move and no trades to take there. Roku, I've been watching Roku as well. Potential for a swing if it shows us some signs of strength, but it hasn't shown me some signs of strength, so I never get to pull the trigger to swing this one. But look at this one. After this huge consolidation for almost a month, then another leg down, and this one is retesting that support. This is gonna have another leg down. All right, so Tesla is testing again that VWAP. I don't like trading at the VWAP unless it is a gap up or a gap down that I can ride it to that I can write it based on my bias. So with Tesla, my bias here is a short because we have a gap down, we are under the VWAP. The only thing that's holding me back from having 100, or nothing is 100%, but having a higher probability for this one to continue to go down is it already had that massive move to the downside. So you are also going to be trading against those Tesla supporters that is waiting for a nicer, cheaper entry for them to hold this one long term. So that's the only thing that's holding me back. Gold, although gold is showing some signs of pushed higher, but this is a gap down. So my bias here is still a short at the VWAP if it shows us some signs of weakness there. But right now, yeah, this bit of consolidation pushing up to the VWAP is just could be some shorts who is covering at the moment just because the volume bar as well is not there. So this is definitely not long bias traders that's pushing this up. So far, SE have this nice bull flag pattern. You have a push up, you have the pole, and you have the flag right here, but it doesn't show some signs of strength yet, because if this one is a strong bull flag, then this could have been above this level. So we can already see that the momentum for this push up is getting weaker. Plus you have your two volume bars right here. All right, so back to Apple. Apple, we already saw this one is already filling the cap. This is the level that we were interested at earlier because we placed a level there, which is the pre-market high. And now it tested that pre-market high, got a rejection at 173. This one still has some room to go. This one, if the SPY is really strong, this can just test this level, 175. So there's no trades to take yet at this point, which I don't like, because usually, what time is it? It's 20 minutes in and we haven't had any trades yet. There's just not a lot of... All right, Roku here, 5 minutes, looking interesting. Let's see. All right, the 5 minutes is looking interesting, but I am not going to pull the trigger because look at the volume. It's just 500,000. If it's just 500,000, that means not a lot of retail traders are watching this. So there's not going to be a momentum for this to push higher. And yeah, if there's no retail traders behind you, then it's not a self-fulfilling prophecy. It would just consolidate. And look at that. It's just, yeah, no follow through there. All right, coin getting interesting here just because the 5 minutes had been so weak that we haven't seen any green candlestick yet. We look at our pivot point analysis. You have the R3, S3. We have S4 there as a support, which looks like it is bouncing off of that support. Let's look at the daily or the 1 minute. Big volume bar right here. Just bunch of consolidation. How far is our VWAP? VWAP is all the way to 215, 207, 210 right now. We're talking about $3 risk. That's a big risk for me, so not gonna pull the trigger. So of all the stocks that we're watching, the one that's interesting is Apple. Apple is, yeah, just went above our pre-market high here. We tested that level post-market, 173. Still is looking strong. How about our SPY? So interesting enough, when Apple looks strong, SPY is down by 65 cents. So do we have a catalyst in Apple that is making this move? 415, no news today. So this could be just, yeah, some either traders or swing traders or investors trying to scoop this price. All right, so AMD, yeah, AMD, interesting. AMD was so close to that level from yesterday, that high of that candlestick, 164, and it's just 164.14. So this is the level here, and it already had that rejection. So with AMD, I just don't like that it's an inside bar. Would have been easier if we have a support here. The support that we are looking at is, next one is this level. That is the low of that candlestick. And look at that. That's also the low of that 161.84. So remember that that's just a zone. It doesn't have to be right at the penny, but it is just a zone. But that zone was touched with, you know, that support was tested. All right, so AMD, short bias with AMD, but the good entry here to the short was close to that level, just because at least there is a strong resistance right there at 164.2. So the 1 minute is just a bunch of consolidation here. 5 minutes, also bunch of consolidation. We are at the VWAP at the 5 minutes. This can still go either direction. I'm just basing it from the volume bar. Volume bar is dying here when we're pushing down. So momentum here to push down is dying as well. So not going to be touching that. Okay, coin is getting interesting. Although this is not a big volume bar, but Let's see here. That's the first white candlestick. It had been selling off for the past couple of days. So interested in doing a long in coin, but it's going to be a small position. So doing a long in coin, stop loss here is 207. So since it is a big and expensive stock, 211, 207, I only got a couple of shares. So we just hit that resistance. We're higher than that resistance now. No imbalance yet at level 2, so we'll wait for the consolidation. Let's look at Apple. We're looking for some pullback as well with Apple. SPY right now looks like it had found a support, and let's see Apple here. If coin give us a big volume bar, give us a nice confirmation in the ask that there's a big order sitting right there, then we will add to this position. Otherwise, we'll just keep this small position. In that way, I can give a couple of bucks like 207 with my entry of average cost is 211. So since it's a small position, I can afford that big of a risk. So that's how you mitigate the risk. If you are having a higher let's see here, if you're having a bigger stop loss, then lower down your volume. Sorry, it's hard to analyze at the same time talk, but all right, let's see. I'm looking at this, trying. I did not hit the trigger to add to my position. So 213, still trying to see, are we, there is some, did not get to add to that position. We are, let's see, 214.48, big order right there. SPY is heading higher as well. We're heading to the VWAP. VWAP here is 214, big order right there, 214.35. So this one is working 215 right here. We're heading to 215. So we are just gonna put our stop loss behind it. In that way, if this one pulls back VWAP, then we are out of this trade. So could have, should have added to that position when it was moving, but I wasn't able to pull the trigger. It happened so quickly. 215.50, 48. This is gonna head to 48. So we're waiting for that pushed up. Let's see. There you go, pushed up. Oh boy. All right, so we're above the VWAP. There is a moving, let's see, above the VWAP right there. This can also just retest the VWAP. There is a big order sitting right there, and that is 215.50. 215.50. If that block is filled, then expect, oh boy. Okay, so I got that, took me out of the trade, but that was a good move. So with only a couple of shares, a move from 211. The 15 still looking bullish here though. But yeah, that's the thing about VWAP. VWAP can be a good support or a good resistance. So 215 to 214. So that is still a $3 move. Was able to capture that move. So yeah, let's see if it's gonna give us another opportunity here. So with that, yeah, we only have First trade is coin, which gave us a good risk to reward ratio, just a couple of position there. This is gonna still head higher. So pros and cons about having 15 minutes is looking strong, but there's no edge right now to enter this position. The easy trade was when it touched that S4. When it touched that S4, was looking at that, but now there, yeah, this can also have some 15-minute trader who's looking at it, and this one looking like there's a hammer that can still enter this trade. So volume bar is depleting there when we have depending on what SPY is doing. SPY is now at the VWAP. So if SPY is strong and this one is showing some signs of strength as well, we can re-enter this one at the VWAP. But I don't like what SPY is doing. SPY just had a rejection at the VWAP. So the easy trade here happened at this level. So yeah, let's look for an easier trade. Apple. Okay, we're looking at Apple. Apple, look at this thing. What a dirty wick. It went all the way up here, 173, then 172. And the way that looks is, wow. Someone was trading this one. So you have a big rejection at 173.75. Where is that? Okay, yeah. So that's the reason why it's hard to trade, now that it's an inside bar, because the strong support and resistance is the previous daily candlestick. And that's why, yeah, I stayed away from that. But look at this huge wick right here. So coin here, that's why I did not want to re-enter, because the easy move was this, which we were able to ride. Roku is reversing. Tesla is consolidating at the VWAP. Can we trust that it is still heading lower versus is it time for that to push higher? We can't really tell, but the probability of that consolidating there is high. Rivian right now is just consolidating here. So what is that move? 826, 852. So we're talking about 25 cents. It's not even worth it. So Roku here, look at this. It had also that S4. Look at the 15 minutes is looking bullish. I will enter this one if I have a big volume right here. Right now, there's only 626,000 that's actively being traded. So no edge there. That can easily get what we call a false breakout, false breakdown. So you do need to have the support of your volume bar. So yeah, so let's look at the rest. Ooh, AMD here. What I don't like about AMD is look at how this one is just consolidating. Oops, some white. This one is just consolidating. So there's really no edge in trading that. And you can already tell that it's going to be like that if you look at your 5 minutes and you see your 5 minutes as an inside bar. So yeah, although I like trading AMD when we were at this level to the short, because you can already tell that this is so overextended. Even the SPY is overextended. And yeah, but right now it's just an inside bar. The easy trade happened already, 2-3 weeks ago to the short. So, all right, we're just waiting for another trade to take. But as always, what we like is an easy trade. We don't want to be doing anything crazy by predicting. We only take an easy trade, higher probability of those moves. Okay, what I'm looking at here is, yeah, coin here looks like it's ready for a pushed up. But this one, when it retested this support at 212, that could have been a good entry to the long, this level right here. Yeah, since I was looking, and you have a big order sitting right here, which is very bullish. So since I was looking at the different stock, the good re-entry here is at 212. So I missed that. All right, so since I missed that, yeah, we just go to the next. What I'm looking at here is Mara. Now, comparing Mara to Coin, although they are both a crypto stock, what I see here with Mara is you have a gap down by 3.2% right now. What I would like Mara to do is, let's first look at the daily before we make a conclusion. So daily is not an all-time low, but it looks like it is still weak. So what I am waiting for Mara to do is to retest the high of the day, which is this level, 14.8. Retest this, and we can short it from there. Will I take it long here? I am not going to be considering a long, but a short if my tape as well as my level 2 as well as my volume price analysis coincides with that thesis. But let's say it's at this level, you have a big volume bar when it's pushing up, you have bunch of orders sitting at the ask, then that means thesis is invalid and don't pull the trigger. But the reason why I would like to see a rejection at this level is because at that point, it's retesting the high of the day. We have created a double top. It is a gap down, so that's why I'm short bias. So let's see. So let's put in a level right there. The level that I'm looking at is 14.81. So, which the way it looks like, yeah, bunch of, although this tape is actually no imbalance here because you have bunch of volume at the bid, bunch of volume at the ask. So with that, it can just consolidate as well. So, wow, look at Roku here. But it just doesn't have any volume. So you can't trust that. It is so prone to a false breakout or false breakdown. That's why I never want to touch a stock with not a lot of volume. Because typically, Roku, a typical day, it's like there's supposed to be at least 3.3 million. So I'm just looking at the daily here. They're supposed to have at least 2.16 million. So with just 500,000 shares, yeah, that's the recipe for a false breakdown. So let's look at Mara here. Apple also had a rejection in R3. So pivot point analysis here. We have our R3, S3 here. It touched that R3, 173, and then after that, it got the rejection. All right, back in Mara. All right, so waiting for Mara to test 1481. And yeah, let's just do our analysis here. Yeah, looks like it will head there. So while we're waiting for Mara to do its move at that 14.81, that's why it's very important that you get to be so choosy on which stock to trade, because the last thing that you want is for you to be stuck on a consolidation. So at the open, I don't like to touch those that are an inside bar at the daily because it will just test the previous high and previous low based from the daily. That's why at the open, I stay away from an inside bar. At the open, I like to trade the one that has a gap up, has a gap down. At least with a gap up, you can form a bias that this stock is strong as long as it is up by at least 3% at the open. So you can already tell that, oh, this is a strong stock. you can ride the momentum to the higher and the opposite for the gap down. So if a gap down of more than 3%, you can form a bias that that stock is weak. So at any pop, you short it and then you cover at the drop. So that's how I look at it. That's why also when I look at, at the opening, first 5, 10, sometimes 15 minutes, I don't have any trades yet because I am just observing what SPY is doing, what my level 2 looks like, what my tape looks like, what my spread looks like. Those are the things that you need to react so quickly, most especially at the open. But if you are trading the 1 minute, it'll be harder compared to when you're trading the 5 minutes. The 5 minutes, at least you still have time to react. Unlike if it's 1 minute, the disadvantage is there will be so much noise with the 1 minute, unlike if you are looking at a higher time frame, the 5 minutes. I basically just use the 1 minute to look at the volume bar. So if there's a huge volume bar, then that is the part of our volume price analysis. But when it comes to where to enter, where is your stop loss, I don't use the 1 minute. I might sometimes use the 1 minute as an early entry, but that is if I find a good risk to reward ratio and good stop loss that I can place at the 5 minutes. So that's how I get to not get stuck with a choppy stock or a stock that is just under consolidation. So let's see if this is, what time is it? So 10:12, we just, traded one stock here. I could be done with my day as well. I do have a bunch of meetings coming up, so I am just looking for an A+ setup here. If we don't find any A+ setup, then yeah, we'll call it a day. Rivian is just doing nothing. So while waiting for, whoa, look at Mara here. So we're waiting for that level to be tested, 14.81, but look at what it did. It is so weak that it did not even had the momentum for this to touch and test the high of the day, 14.81. It was only able to test 14.73 and then created a doji there. Now this doji, you really don't have an edge on where to put your stop loss or your entry, just because the closer you are to the resistance, the better. In that way, you can have a tight stop loss with this, because once we find the doji, you cannot predict whether is the doji, the head of this or the body of this, going to be the support versus the resistance. Right now, it acted as a resistance, but this is just not a clean stock to trade at this time frame or at this time. So let's see what else. So yeah, I'm still trying to see and trade something else if there is an A+ setup, but right now with all our watch list, I don't see anything potential yet. Mara, it did not touch our level right here. Let's see if it's ready to touch that 1481. For scalpers, they could have made money here, but the thing is with the scalpers, you need to increase your share size. Okay, look at this share size, and you really have to be quick. So, hotkeys is needed for scalpers. And look at this one. They got the rejection at that level, and now they're pushing this one to 14.81. Volume bar is there. This is, now there are stocks of orders sitting at 14.86. So I'm looking here at the tape and level 2. So 14.76, 77. Let's look at the pop in 81, 78, 79. There you go. Okay, 81. That is the price that I'm interested at. but right now it doesn't look like it's over pushing up. So there is still a bunch of orders here, 83, so that one can still go there. What is coin doing? Coin is slightly pushing up. So this 179, it is expected that 14.81 will be a strong resistance because that's the high of the day. Still a bunch of orders at 85 here, so this one can still go above that 81. Now 75, 74, rejection at 81 here. Now if coin is not too strong, right now it's just at the VWAP, and okay, if coin is weak as well as SPY is weak, then that can give us the higher probability to short this one. So 81, what is, coin is still pushing up. This one still has some room to fill. 15.14 is the low of that candlestick yesterday, which is right here. Trying to see whether we can short this one, although there's still a bunch of orders sitting right here at 14.81. So let's wait for that block to fill and then go from there. So this one is, yeah, this is heading to 14.80. Now remember that these orders can easily just get canceled. SPY is having a pullback, so I like that. If I'm considering a short, I would like SPY to be on the same side as me. So hands is on the trigger, considering I'm shorting this one. SPY just had a big pullback here, and 14.75. All right, so entering short here with Mara. So Mara short, we waited for that level to be touched, and SPY having a pullback. I don't like that coin is not having a pullback. That is the same sector as Mara, although this is a big volume bar right here. Back in Mara, stop loss here is just that high of the day. So SPY is still heading lower here. Big volume bar at SPY. Coin just had a rejection at 216. Right here, just had a rejection, big volume bar. So I like that. I'm thinking of adding short to my Mara trade. So added short to Mara. Just building up that position. Stop loss here is still the high of the day. Giving it a couple of cents up. So 14.85 is the stop loss there. Now SPY, a little bit of a pullback here, some consolidation. Coin as well, consolidating here. What I like coin to do is to go below that VWAP. Will it go there? No one knows. We're just trading based off of the price action. So still a bunch of orders reading right here. 14.72 with that. Let's see. So SPY having consolidating there. Coin also consolidating. Added to my position to the short. It was about to break that support, so I added to that position. A little bit aggressive to that add. Stop loss is still that 14.85, and 14.72 is my average cost. So let's just change this one so I would know which one is my entry. So that's my average cost right now. So right now we are at break even with this rejection again at 14.72. If SPY give us a good dump, this is a good place to add. So thinking of, let's see, adding to this position. Did not fill my shares. This can easily go either direction. SPY here is testing the support, 504.56. I don't know why it's not giving me that shares. Coin is just consolidating. I don't like that. SPY is retesting the VWAP. So SPY, I'd like for SPY to break the VWAP. Of course, that's just my wishful thinking. But we are now looking good with this trade. Coin, okay, is just lost the VWAP, which is what we're waiting for. And we were so patient with Mara that we can take some. Oops, I was about to cover some, but I added. But it was just a 25%, so we're still good with this trade. All right, so don't want to turn this one into a losing trade. So this is my break even, and now it's time to lower down that stop loss, even to the point of getting stop out. Totally fine, but you want to make sure that you don't turn into this trade into a losing trade. We are testing the support, waiting for that support to be broken. That can have a higher probability since SPY is at below the VWAP. So let's look at a break of that support, 14.55. There you go. 56 here. Come on, 56, 55. Boom, 55, 54. Okay. Getting a bit aggressive with the look at coin here. So we keep going back and forth. Coin, Mara, and SPY. Coin, Mara, and SPY. Just because Mara and coin are in the same sector, that crypto sector. We're back in that. Come on. So my average cost here is 14.69. So still all the way up here. I am about to get stuff out here. But SPY just lost the VWAP. So most likely what it'll do is stop me out and then break the VWAP. Now I can also just move my stop loss a little higher. Totally fine. Yeah, so. Boo. All right. Look at this thing. I knew that's gonna happen. I knew it. Anyway, that's just the game of trading. But yeah, now we are below the VWAP. This is gonna dump with all this red, the tape. Anyway, so that is our Mara trade. Okay, next trade. All right, Tesla. Tesla's getting interesting here. What I see with Tesla is the 5 minutes could have been a better short if this one retested 157, which it did not. So let's see what else is there. Apple getting interesting. Look at this V reversal. Low of the day is 171 all the way to 173. You get the V there. This one is going to test the support, 171. What will Apple do at that support? Well, based from the SPY, if SPY gets a test of that support as well and breaks that support, then highly likely that Apple will break that support as well. So that's how you use the SPY. SE, look at this thing. SE at the 5 minutes is looking interesting. 2.9 million. This is why I like SE, because SE at this time, but look at the volume here. This is the takeaway here. SE already moved from 51 to 55, 56. So that is a $5 move. SE, this is a good place to short. So stop loss here is 56.14. Just shorting SE with that big of a volume bar. So added to my position. Big volume bar here. Very much the one that, you know, went long here, taking their shares out. So SE already pick up that volume, 3 million. Let's see if I can add to that position. Waiting for a little bit closer to the VWAP here so I can add. But we have to be careful with this because this can just break that resistance as well. But that is our stop loss. So 55.74, looking at the tape, trying to see 84 now. So that's a 10 cents moved. Trying to see if I can add to this position. So if you notice, I don't go all in. I start to build my position just because you want to have some confirmation. Confirmation is how does your tape looks like? How does your level 2 looks like? And the volume bar right here. So look at this little candlestick or little volume bar right here. So we're going to give it until 56.2. Small volume bar. When it's pushing up, you got a huge dump right here. The daily looking very overextended. So the way that I get to see this, it caught my attention because of this big volume bar. And let's see here. Wow, this is really giving it still a pushed up. So this is heading to 56.0608. Yeah, this is gonna retest that. So let me make sure that my stop loss is there. Once we hit that level, 56.20 is my stop loss. So we're at 56.13, 08, 07, 12. Hands is on the trigger to get out of this trade. There is a big order right there, 56.02. So hands is on the trigger to get out of this trade once we go to that 56.20, 25. 07, 08. Yeah, this can easily get the shorts, just like me, to get short squeeze. So once it hit this level, this can just have a massive move up, just because imagine a lot of stop loss is at this level. So those stop loss, you know, you're buying back your shares. So technically it will just shoot up. 56.35 right here. All right, we are closing to 56.20. Hence is on the trigger to close this position at 56.25. We are still at the 19, 20, 21, 21 here. Wow. 20. That's 55.94. Okay. We are getting some resistance there. 28. Okay, out of that. So that one was a loss. SE was not ready yet. So we'll wait once SE is ready for a short. Let's see the daily here. Wow. 51, 56, $5 moved. All right, so 15 created a new high. We haven't seen any red candlestick yet. Big volume bar here. waiting for a re-entry here to the short. $56.20, $25. Okay, we entered short here at SE. Stop loss is the high of the day, 56.34. This is a bit harder stock to trade. The daily was so enticing though, plus this big volume bar. So let's see if this one now is ready for a pullback. Does this one have a news? So no news at SE. Interesting. Someone knows what's happening here. So 51 to 56. Wow. $5 move with the span of 1 hour. So getting ready to get stop out here. Stop loss is 56, just above the high of the day. Okay, not ready yet. So got out of that. That was a big short squeeze. So 56. So got stop out there. All right. Now we'll wait patiently for this. Now that was a big rejection. Let's see if that one was the last leg up. 56.6. $56.50. What is the next resistance here? Next resistance is at the daily is 57. The easy trade here is long, of course. Hindsight is 50-50 or 20-20. 50-50 probability. But yeah, the next resistance is this wick, 56.94. Okay, re-entering short here. 15 minutes is about to create that inverted hammer. 56.39, 35. Let's see if this is gonna create another high. This one. $56.67 is the high of this candlestick. 56.50. About to get stop out again. See. Big rejection there. 56.79. Wow. Look at the daily here. Daily is amazing. $56.75. 7 right here. Ready to get stop out here. 80. All right, not yet ready for a reversal here. So we'll wait for that resistance that we place. Wow. Oh my gosh. That is amazing. 57. That is the resistance that we were waiting for. So 57 resistance that we were waiting for. 57.01, 58. Okay, re-entering short here, a little on the anticipatory move here. Adding to my position. Just do that short. Big resistance happened at 57. That resistance here, this candlesticks. So just trying to build up a position here. 56.67 at the sign of weakness. Gonna be adding to that position again. So 67 now. $56.8. Stop loss here is the high of the day, 57.08, 57.10. Did not get to add before that big move. At the pop, we're going to be adding to that position again. 56.50 now, 52. Looking at the tape here. SPY just created a new low of the day. So new low of the day with SPY, Mara testing the low of the day, as well as coin low of the day. Apple, we were saying that it will have that V reversal as well and break the support, which it did. So yeah, Mara now creating double bottom. $56.70. There is order sitting right there. Not a lot of volume here. We are just heading to that consolidation. What time is it? 10:38. First red candlestick here. 5 minutes. We haven't seen. This one is a doji. 671. SPY, interesting enough, SPY already have that pullback, and SE hasn't had really a pullback yet. So is SE gonna be a laggard? Getting ready as well. This is gonna stop me out. This can also just have one more squeeze up and have the shorts to have them cover those positions as well. Look at this nice move right here. Wow. All right, getting ready to get step out here. 57 is the high of the day. 57. It is acting as a strong wall. 57 here. That tape is not breaking 57. We're now at 56. 57 again. Let's see if they're gonna be able to break that wall. Getting ready to get step out. We're back at 57. 57 here. SPY found a support. Okay, 57 was not, they're not able to break that 57. So adding to that short. and see. We're now 57, getting ready. If I will be stop out here, 57, 56.93, 92, 91. 6.91. So now I don't see any prints of 57. It's now at 56.81, 83. So 83, back there, 56.9. To 6.81. Okay, 56.90. 90s are back. All right, here we go. Now we break that support. It's about time. 70s. Okay, I don't see any more of those 80s and 90s. Yeah, that was a strong resistance at 57 there. So they were not able to break that strong resistance. All right, Mara. Mara now could be a good place to long. It created that support right here, 14.31. This one can be a good long. Coin could be a good long double bottom entry here, 210, stop loss 209. But since I am an SE trade, I will just manage my trade here at SE. But yeah, coin could be a good place to long, as well as Mara. What else? So now we can see at least some movements, unlike at the open where everything was just consolidating. Now there's like double bottom. Mara created a double bottom, as well as coin created a double bottom. What else? Apple is getting interesting because it's looking very overextended here. Next support is this level, 170. 170. So that will be an interesting for a long, and see if it's gonna bounce there. But coin, if SPY get a bounce, then coin can be a possibility for a bounce as well. All right, so SE decision here. How many more minutes before our 5 minutes candlestick closes? We still have almost 2 minutes here. So we're now back again at that level, 56.91, 93. It is trying to defend that moving average, but now we're back at 85, 56.82. Okay, so if I'm not managing this one, I could have trade Mara to the long or coin to the long, but I need to just focus on this SE trade here. We're back at that 95, 56.95. $93. Time is at 10:44. Come on. Coin, yeah, looking very interesting. Same thing as Mara. All right. Let's see if this is gonna stop me out. We're at 57 here. 57. Stop loss right there, 57.13. So 57.13 is the stop loss. That's just giving it a little bit of a room. I wanted to trade coin or Mara, but I'm in this position, so just wanted to focus on this for now. What else is moving? Coin is still looking good for a long, and 57.13. Looking to see if this is gonna stop me out at 57.13 is the stop loss. So that level there is gonna be the forming, a new high of the day. To 7.11, very close to getting stop out. All right, so out of that trade, not ready yet. All right, so for this one, we'll wait until it's ready for a reversal to the short. Right now it's not ready yet, so we'll wait patiently for this. Coin, on the other hand, is looking at the volume bar at coin at the 5 minutes. The volume bar is dying though, and it's pushing up, so that can also just be a false breakout. So we're gonna try to be conservative with this SE and look for a conservative entry, meaning at a higher time frame, 5 minutes, 5 minutes showing some signs of reversal, and that would just be the time for us to short this one. But at the moment, yeah, this one is still looking strong, that we just let it be. We just let SE do what it wants to do. And let's look at AMD is just consolidating. It is just in that range, 62 to 64. Apple is testing that level, that support that we were calling out. So that support right here, it just broke that support. So now it's down by $2.75. All right, back here. Apple, back again to this. So we placed that support earlier. Look at how it's respecting that support, and that support is this couple of touches here with this previous day candlestick. And let's see if that support is going to act as a strong support. Right now it's acting as a resistance. So coin, looks like coin, yeah, decided to move up. We were calling out Mara as well to move higher, and yeah, so Mara created that double bottom. SPY as well created a new low of the day, and after SPY created a new low of the day, then the push up. All right, back to SE. This one has 1 minute and 10 seconds left before we create a new 5-minute candlestick. If this is going to be a red candlestick, that will be the first, excluding of course this doji right here. So based off of a higher time frame, 5 minutes, that's the only time that we're going to be shorting this one. I need some confirmation, so we'll be shorting this one if this candlestick right here goes below 56.93. That's the only time that we're going to be shorting this one. So now we're being conservative rather than getting the FOMO out of this SE 1 minute candlestick. we are switching up the gear and being conservative, meaning going to a higher time frame, which is the 5 minutes. If this test, this support, this level, and hopefully break that support, 56.93 will be our entry to the short. Because at that time, it will be this inverted hammer where we can trade it off of. So entry at 56.93 with, so stop loss above this candlestick or the high of the day. This stock right here already moved for $4 and almost 50 cents. Crazy. I don't even know what company is this. Yeah, that's the thing about day traders. We trade off based of technical levels, not really getting attached to a company. Pricing, secondary, public offering. This is SNX and SE. IT ecosystem. What else? Safe Harbor. SE. This one was back in March. Just trying to see what company is SE. Been trading SE for a while, not really knowing what company is this. All right. Oh my gosh, wait. Okay, that's 56.91. All right, entering short here, SE. So that one was our level right there. So back to our performance branding. Put locker. So if I don't see anything interesting here, the thing that I like resource-wise is Finbiz. Finbiz, you can get lots of information. Finbiz, CSE, C Limited, something, got an upgrade. Wow. So that one was back in March, 43 to 70. And the company is all about internet, mobile platform, online gaming. Of course, the AI thing comes into play when we talk about all those IT stuff. So could be. Headquartered in Singapore. I don't know about that can, what I notice is a company that is headquartered in China can be very unpredictable, like Baba, JD. Those companies can be very unpredictable. Singapore, let's see today how predictable this can be. But SE had been a very good stock to trade for day traders. We've been trading this one before, so nothing new here. But let's see if this one still has the momentum to go up. So stop loss here is the high of the day. All right, what time is it? 11. Come on. We need to wrap this thing up. All right, another confirmation, 5 minutes here. All right, we're shorting it. This is the first pullback that we get to see. Finally. Going to be adding to that position at the break of this support, 56.82. But 15 minutes, first red candlestick here, and 656.82 is my add to that short. All right, add it to my position to the short. So yeah, that's the way to, definitely not the A plus entry here, but you just get to have to mitigate your risk by either lowering your share size or doing a tight stop loss and then go from there. If you're getting stop out so easily, just like what happened to me here, switch up the gear, and instead of having the entry in the 1 minute, switch up the gear and have the entry at a higher time frame, so it's a lesser chance for you to get stop out, get the noise. So silence the noise by doing a higher time frame. So the next support here is 56.59. Trying to see another pushed up. Okay. There was a big order sitting here at the bid. That's why I wanted to add, but it failed me right when it's filling that lower price. So not the best add, but still heading to the right direction there. All right, next support here is this level. Okay, that was a scare. So that one took a while. The giveaway is this, but this thing really. Okay, we are now at that support. 56.38. So 34, 36. Paper handed here. Okay, so just cover my position. This can still go down, but that's the thing about all this craziness. It's not the best trade that I get to take here. That's why I was paper handed. As soon as I get to see that green, and of course, what time is it? 10:48. There was a spike that happened, so I don't know whether the news came. But I was paper handed here, so I went all out at 56.37, which is the moving average here as well. This can still have a room to go down, but did not want to risk it. I got burned a couple of times here, so all right. So let's do our recap. So done for the day, and yeah. So for those of you guys who are asking on where to begin on how to day trade for a living, please feel free to check our website out. It's called ecourseunlock.com, and with that website, we do update our website every week, so learning never stop. And just wanted to go to that website before we do our recap. So for today, we only traded 3 stocks: SE, what else? We traded Mara and Coin, or not Coin, sorry, SE, Mara, and Coin. And this is our website right here. So we are now dabbing into real estate as well. And that's also the reason why I do have to cut this one short, because today, is a couple of meeting appraisers are coming. So for day trading, we do have our syllabus right here, so check it out and see whether day trading is for you. And we do have our blog there, as well as our favorite day trading strategy, which is opening range breakdown breakout. So with that, let's look at our trades and do our recap. So for today, let's see, it's exactly 11. SE looks like it has a bounce at that moving average, but okay, so it's 11, 9:30, 10:30, so a lot, around 1.5 hours in the trade, and we got 3.5 today. So all green trades, but the SE trade is the one that gave us a little bit of a challenging trade. So let's do it in order. So with coin, what I saw with coin was, all right, coin had, so we were doing our levels with coin. We got the pre-market low here, pre-market high, and the pre-market low was just broken at the open. So this one is what we call an opening range breakdown. So yeah, it break that support so quickly. We were not able to trade at the open just because what we do is we wait for 5-10 minutes up to 15 minutes and see what the SPY is doing before we do a trade. What we do here is we prefer an easy trade. So rather than getting stopped out and getting into those consolidation, we look into an easy trade. So we did not get any trades, not until after 15 minutes, just because look at what SPY is doing for that first 15 minutes. So first 15 minutes SPY is, let's see, 945. Look at this consolidation right here. If you have pre-market high and pre-market low, which is just a $3 move, and you are just in between that level, then that's what we call a consolidation. So, you know, technically SPY is just consolidating. So for the first 5 minutes to 15, no trades that we get to take. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 gap up, 8 gap down. Depending on those gap up, gap down, we trade based on the strategies that we are looking for. So we already know what strategies we're looking for. We are just waiting for that setup to happen. So what we saw, and we were analyzing that as well. So if you want to see and look back on how we analyze specific stocks or all the stocks that we were talking about, which we did earlier, then just rewind this recording and just see how we get to cross out those that does not have a potential for a move, those that have a potential, and those that is just under consolidation. So what we saw with coin, looking at the daily here, is, let's just move this one right here. With coin, looking at the daily, coin open right here at 222, then it just broke that pre-market support. So created an opening range breakdown. We haven't been doing any opening range breakdown lately just because how the SPY had been so choppy at the open, and most of the time the move happens like around 10 onwards, so there's no opening range breakout setup. Now it broke that support, went all the way to 207. That is already a move of around $9. What we're looking at is it's looking overextended to begin with. You have a couple of days where it had already that pullback. So for the daily, we always look at a higher time frame. Yesterday was a massive move down, 249 all the way to 223. So the day before that is another red candlestick. So we're just waiting basically for a small support for coin for a bounce. And what I saw here was, okay, the 5 minutes, first 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, all red candlestick. First white or first green candlestick happened at that fifth one. So we're looking at that, and our thesis is, okay, we're ready for a bounce up. Looking at our pivot point analysis, we have our R3, we have our S3 right there, and look at this one right at the T. We have the S4, look at this one. So that's why when I saw our pivot point analysis, we are at S4, so technically we can do a long. So we are using a higher time frame. With this one, the one that caught my attention is the 15 minutes. So 15 minutes looking like we have touched S4. I can have my stop loss below that S4 and entry conservatively, since this is a high price stock, plus having an entry with a stop loss that is, 207, entry is at 211. So we're talking about couple of dollars stop loss. That's why I only have like 400 shares. And sure enough, that 400 shares is already good enough for that move. So I did not even get the chance to add to this position just because it had moved so quickly that 400 shares move from entry here is at 211.23 all the way to the VWAP at 214. So 211 to 214, we're talking about $3 move there. Stop loss here is all the way down here. So 211 to 207, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it still is around 1 to 1 or 1 to 0.75 reward to risk ratio. So still not the best risk to reward ratio. Our recommendation is look for a stock that can give you at least a 2 to 1 reward to risk ratio. This one, just eyeballing it. So the way that you eyeball it, how big is this thing compared to the move? So it looks like just a 1 to 1 risk to reward ratio. Still is, considering what the market is doing now, that is just under consolidation. Not the A+ setup, but it did give us a move. So as soon as it had that pushed up, we were trailing our stop, and our stop loss was just behind it. So at the first sign of pullback, we got stop out there. And that stop out did not even get to partial just because I was waiting for another leg up, the VWAP, which it did not do. So it just stopped me out, but that was a decent trade there. First trade at 1300, and that one first entry did not happen, not until 9:55. So that's the thing as well with being very conservative and very picky with all the stocks that you're going to trade. You only want to trade the one that is easy. So SE, I got all out at 56, and then 56.36, 56 or 55.84. So around, I left 75 cents in the table. But anyway, going back to my chain of thought, that's how you would like to trade. You want to trade the one that you have an edge. First and foremost, the strategy is there, as well as a higher probability that it will work on your favor. The rest, cancel the noise. Next one, Bitcoin as well as cryptocurrency sector as well. So cryptocurrency sector had been very active, but I honestly don't trade all those like Bitcoin and all those coin stuff. But I do trade Mara and coin, which is that sector. So kind of like leverage on that as well. So what I saw with Mara is this thing. Yeah, I just don't see an edge trading crypto. Yeah, there's so many manipulation that can happen there. I know a lot of people like crypto, but my strategy works on equity, so I stick to the one that works. I like rinse and repeat, and just basically trying to be good at my craft. My craft is equity, so I stick with equities. So nothing against crypto traders. So with Mara, what I saw is a double top. You have the high of the day, and looking at our pre-market high and low. Pre-market low here, pre-market high all the way up here, 15.11, 14.59. So since I've been trading coin, sympathy play is Mara. So once I finish trading coin, which I closed my position as well at 9:55, what I saw with Mara, and I was calling it out as well, is I'll be interested in shorting Mara if it tests the high of the day. So we were calling it out even when Mara was still at the VWAP, and I was saying, okay, if this touch 14.81, then I'll be interested in shorting it. And sure enough, we were patiently waiting for Mara to touch 14.81, and that's where we shorted. So the 5 minutes doesn't look like we really ace the entry, but let's look at our 1 minute here. So you want to look at a harmonious chart where your daily, your 1 minute, your 15, your 5 minutes, all is in sync or in rhythm, that they all are looking short. So the daily is, for me, does not look like very bullish, because first it is a gap down, so you do have that gap right here, right at the beginning with a gap down. I am short bias already with that. So it is not an all-time low, so that means it's not like, oh, it had reached the support. It's a different story if it's an all-time low. If it's an all-time low, then my thinking process is, okay, did we hit the low of this stock? Are there any potential buyers at that level that would like to have that stock as a long-term stock in their portfolio? But with this, it's not an all-time low, so we can make money of that with that scalp. So short this one at the first sign of weakness, as well as at the touch of that strong resistance. We created a double top, so we shorted it there. And entry, looking at the 1 minute, so you got the first red candlestick. I entered right here at 1473, added to my position. This one was supposed to be a cover, but instead of hitting cover, I hit sell, meaning I added to my position. So at that point, I was just trailing my stop. So since my first cover is 25%, this one just added a 25% position to my initial entry here. So average cost here is still around this 14.67. So I was just trailing my stop, and sure enough, at this first sign of reversal, I got stop out. So with that Mara, yeah, not a home run, but 389, just because it is a cheaper price stock. And for a cheaper price stock with an ATR that is below $1, so with this ATR, or that average true range, 14.8, 14.21, we're talking about around 50 cents. How you can make money out of that is just increase your share size. Did not get to increase that much. I was still trying to analyze the chart and trying to build my position. I was actually trying to cover my share size, and wrong hotkey button that I pressed, so I added to position, but yeah, trailing my stop, lost, and got stop out at the first sign of reversal. So that was 389. Next one is SE. So SE is now just really, yeah, it's a painful stock to watch, just because it is now moving to where I wanted to move, but I wasn't patient enough to wait for that big move. I got paper handed with SE. So the way that I get to see, and SE caught my attention when I saw this big candlestick. So since I got 16 watch lists that I get to watch, all of them are in 5-minute time frame. For that 16 stock, I kind of like look at it in a very quick way. You cannot just fix your attention into one. So what I'm looking is, anomaly with a volume bar. Is there a double bottom? Is there a inverted hammer at the top? Is there a hammer at the bottom? Are we reaching a very strong support at a higher time frame? That would be at least at the daily, at least the 15 minutes. Those are the things that I get to look at my watch list. So scanning it very quickly based from those scan, then once that catch my attention, then I will trade that stock. So the thing that caught my attention with SE is this candlestick right here. All right, so 15 minutes or the 5 minutes at the open, I was already saying that SE is not tradable at the open just because of the volume that is actively being traded. But what we notice is once we close our Mara position, and at this time, which is 10:20, the volume start to pick up. So the volume there is, let's look at the 15 here. Look at this one. We are now talking about 1.46 million volume. So initially from less than 1M or 1M volume at the open, then, traders are watching it, and it's not just me, but a lot of traders are having this one at their watch list because it's very active. Right now it's up by $3.50. Look at that massive candlestick at the daily. So going back to how it caught my attention, I have that 5 minutes in my watch list. I saw this anomaly. Big red candlestick when we have been seeing all green candlestick, or in my chart it's white candlestick, which is when the candlestick is pushing higher. We haven't seen any pullback yet, but this caught my attention. Volume price analysis is a lot of volume came in when we got this doji. So thesis is those who went long here could have been taking their profits already. And for this one to keep pushing higher and keep that momentum for this to push higher, we need to have more volume than this. Now, always consider that, once you get to see those big volume bar, it's not like up to the penny or right at the dot that you will see a reversal. Expect that it is just a zone, which in this stock, that's what happened. It is just a zone, but we have seen that the momentum for this to push higher is getting weaker. You have the volume bar, which is tinier than the previous volume bar, and it even gets tinier. So when I saw this, I've been building my position to the short. So short this one, got stop out. All right. At this point, I was looking at the 1 minute. So 1 minute, it got me stop out couple of times. Short again, stop out. Short again, stop out. So 1, 2, 3, 3 strikes. So I got stop out 3 times with SE, and that's the time that I have to switch the gear up, and instead of getting stop out, because I was looking at a lower time frame, in this regard it's the 1 minute, I step aside and said, and even it's in the recording, that I will be looking at the higher time frame. So 1 stop out here, 2nd stop out, and the 3rd stop out here. So 1, 2, 3, that did not work out. That's the time that I was looking at a lower time frame. So I switched it up to a higher time frame, which in this regard is the 5 minutes. So what I've been calling out is, I'll wait for the 5 minutes, first red candlestick on the 5 minutes, and that's where I'm gonna reshort this one. So as soon as I saw this first red candlestick, what we're waiting for is the sign of reversal. First sign of reversal is you have a previous candlestick. If the candlestick next to it goes below that support, then that can be a potential for a reversal. So that's where I entered here short. Now we got a confirmation because we got an inverted hammer. At the same time, this candlestick right here did not even get to test the high of the day. So when I saw that, I added to my position. Now we have a support that's about to be broken here. That's why I added to my position as well. Now, since I got 3 strikes, 3 strikes that I did not get to have a good entry, and I get to just get stopped out 3 times. Now I got paper handed. So that's what we call, your psychology is messed up, because now, your thesis got was invalidated 3 times, and now you get to question, like, okay, is this really a long or a short now? So that psychology is a big thing in trading. That's why we have 3-legged stool in trading. You have the strategy, you have the risk management, and your psychology. So with that, considering that as soon as I saw that I am green, and although it still has some room for this to go lower, yeah, I just can't afford to see this one and make it still as a red trade. So now I'm switching it up to P&L trade. So I'm looking at my P&L, and as soon as I was up, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to run and take the money away and just run. So instead of doing partialing, I just went all out. And this is kind of scary as well because of that doji. So you never know whether will it create a new high of the day versus will it just have that rejection. But if I did not have this 3 strikes, then probably I could have held it up to the VWAP. But yeah, still is a green trade. So a green is a green. So we'll ending the day with 3,500 profit there, and 2 hours of trade, including the recap. And so yeah, we'll call it a day. So in case you guys have questions, please feel free to email us and check our website out and see if day trading is for you. Day trading do create a bunch of opportunities. You get to work from home, you get to work less hours, and I don't think there's any other occupation out there, or if one can call trading as an occupation, that can give you that reward with the work that you put into it. Now, I don't say that trading is easy. Definitely, there is a lot of challenges, a lot of stuff that we need to learn in trading. So as long as you are consistently learning and sticking to your risk management, your strategy, as well as your harnessing your psychology, and you enjoy those unpredictability of the market, because in day trading, yes, you can also have some red days. So that's just part of the business. So if that is not really fits your personality, then it will be hard to trade, just because in trading there could be some red days and green days. You have to learn to accept both, and you need to also work into probability. So for those people who's not inclined in the probability setup of, is it going to be a red day, a green day, that will be a bit challenging. But yeah, I like what the market is giving us. The opportunities there basically for scalpers, for traders, and the easy trade for trading is definitely still the trend kind of day, where you see a SPY having a big gap up and you just follow that long trade, or SPY gap having a big gap down, you follow that short and cover like close to the close. But SPY right now is just an inside bar, and even if SPY is just an inside bar, we were still able to make money out of today's market, just because we got very picky. We look for only those strategies that fits our trading capability, and we go from there. So it is less intimidating and less or harder or easy. It's easier to trade once you already have those specific strategies, risk parameter that you already have in mind, and you just wait for those stocks to meet those expectation of yours, kind of thing. Comparing it to a housing market or buying a house. You don't buy a house like a 2 million house if you can not afford a 2 million, if you can afford a 1 million, so you stick to that. So same thing with trading. If the price doesn't come to the price level or that resistance that you were waiting for, then you just don't touch it. If it doesn't go to that price, to that support that you're waiting for, then you just don't touch it. So that's how it makes it easier to cross out those unnecessary noise, because at the end of the day, that's all that we're doing, is we're just crossing out the noise. How do we cross out the noise? With our watch list that is 18 or 16 stocks that we're actively watching. How can we pick which of the stock has the potential? Well, you cross out the noise. You pick out the stock that is an easy, a giveaway trade, where the probability is there for it to move higher, for it to move lower, and you go from there. If it's an overextended and it looks like it's encountering a very strong resistance or support, then you short it from there, or you long it from there based on the bias, based on the level 2, based on the tape, and you go for the next one. And that's what we did. We saw a coin, we close our position, we go to the next one. Easy trade was Mara because the strong support is there, and then we close our position, trailing it our stop loss, we go to the next one, and that is SE. So that's how you get to build your capital. And we silence the noise by focusing on the easy trade, on the watch list. And then once you are on that particular stock, you silence the noise by going to a higher time frame, which is at least 5. Well, you go first to the daily, then you go to the 15 and to the 5, looking at your 1 minute as a volume price analysis. So you look at the volume bar at the 1 minute and see whether there is some anomaly there when it comes to the volume bar, and you go from there. So that's how those pieces of puzzle basically work with trading. You have the SPY as you refer to the SPY and see if SPY is against you or for you. If the SPY is for you, or it's moving together with the stock that you're currently being traded, that you're currently being, the stock that you're trading, then it's a higher probability. So yeah, that's basically it. I hope you guys are getting something from this videos. It is also a way for me to look back and learn from my mistake. So if you guys are getting something out of this, all I ask is to just like and share the video. Really, my passion is to help as many traders out there as possible, because I was there in that position before where I got burned so much that I literally just wanted to throw away my computer and just do something else. But I never give up, and I persisted, and definitely persistence is gonna be rewarded if you're doing the right thing in trading. So persistence together with the 3-legged stool, which is your risk management, your psychology, your strategy, give that a solid foundation. And although you might see your profit and loss, your P&L going back and forth, but in the long run, if you really take it seriously, then the rewards are there. So my encouragement is just, if trading is really for you, so just don't give up and just learn every day. Learn from your mistake and just don't just stick to your strategy. The worst thing that a trader can do is not put a stop loss, because those stop loss are there to guard your P&L, to guard your capital. And since trading is a probability game, not having a stop loss is like running and, driving, let's say 120 miles per hour, not knowing if there's a wall in front of you. So protect your capital, honor your stop loss, honor your entry stop loss, don't chase your stock, don't go into FOMO. And with that, sorry for a longer rant, but I hope you guys get something out of this. And we'll do this again next time. Let's see, trying to see if I can trade. So yeah, we'll trade live again this Friday. And with that, I hope you guys had a green trading day, and I hope you guys are, just staying green. So with that, thank you for watching. We'll see you guys on Friday. Bye for now. Is it a relationship, adventure, being creative, being able to do what you want at your own terms, or just loving what you do, exploring the world, giving back, serving? Now the list can go on and on. What's the common denominator here? All of this require time. And if we will spend 90,000 hours at work, which is the average number of hours a person works in their lifetime, then who has the time to do all this? 24 hours in a day isn't coming to an end. 24 hours is all that we're going to get. Now, wish you could have more time so you can focus on what matters most. What would you do if you have more time in your hand? What would you do if money is not the driving force for you to work? What if you have to get up in the morning, not because you have to clock in at work? What if you have to roll out of your bed to do what you love to do? For instance, for you to travel, spend time with your loved one, follow your passion, maybe do a volunteer work. Did you ever dream of reclaiming more time in a day, or ever wanted to start your own business so you can experience more autonomy, not having to report to a boss, and having the liberty to make your own decision or your own schedule? And I am not talking about retirement. Every day, we get a fresh 24 hours to make that decision on how we would spend that 24 hours. Every day, we are in a crossroad. Our decision will determine our future. In day trading, you can reclaim more time from your day by cutting the working hours to less than 10 hours per week, so you can focus on what matters most. Because honestly, for some, that 10 hours is only their commute time per week to work. After all, we all have seen this ad before. So reclaim more time through day trading so you can focus on what matters most. After all, we are all in a borrowed time, so make it count. Click the link below to learn how to day trade for a living. Hi, my name is Mary and I'm a day trader. So what do you value the most? Is it family? Is it your relationship? Is it health? Is it growth? Or maybe a status? Or maybe a popularity? Is it achievement? Or is it security? Is it fulfillment? Or is it a passion? Is it a relationship, adventure, being creative, being able to do what you want at your own terms, or just loving what you do, exploring the world, giving back, serving? Now the list can go on and on. What's the common denominator here? All of this require time. And if we will spend 90,000 hours at work, which is the average number of hours a person works in their lifetime, then who has the time to do all this? 24 hours in a day isn't coming to an end. 24 hours is all that we're going to get. Now, wish you could have more time so you can focus on what matters most. What would you do if you have more time in your hand? What would you do if money is not the driving force for you to work? What if you have to get up in the morning, not because you have to clock in at work? What if you have to roll out of your bed to do what you love to do? Alright, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys again this Friday for our live day trading again. So we do live trading every Tuesday and every other Friday. So this Friday we'll do live trade again. So I hope you guys had a great trading day. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you again Friday. Bye for now.